One thing that we've talked about before is the musician movie. We talked about the Bohemian Rhapsody movie, and we did Queen 2, and I feel like we've referenced a few of these other, like,
Rocket Man.
Yeah, like the origin story of the musician.
Rock opera.
Yes. Straight Outta Compton was like that. There's Walk the Line is like that. I've been thinking though, like there's a lot. The whole genre is pretty extensive because you have movies where it's like it was clearly like a platform for the musician. Like I think was it Labyrinth for David Bowie, where they literally just like stopped the movie for him to do the dance magic song.
I never saw it, but
I don't think I've seen it either.
I've seen pictures.
Okay, yeah.
I've heard about it.
I know. I'm pretty sure there is a moment in that movie where he plays a song.
Yeah,
and you got some sillier stuff like Scooby-Doo and Kiss, Rock and Roll Mystery. Then you have like weird movies where it's like the whole thing just kind of feels like a music video. Like, isn't that what Hard Day's Night is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
the song remains the same.
A couple of their other movies, Beatles. Yeah, song remains the same.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's like a concert,
right?
A live. The Beatles stuff, I think, is just their recordings are like the soundtrack for them getting into all sorts of zany. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not zany, but
the only there are weird ones where it's like it's obviously it's a way to showcase the band's music, but they also try to do the narrative. Like a Tommy, I think, is the one that comes to mind for that.
Yeah, that one is just kind of the whole album.
Yeah.
Set to a movie.
Okay.
A rock opera.
Okay.
And the Wall.
Yes. Oh, that's another one. That's another one. Because I was just for today's episode we are doing American Utopia, which is not the album, mind you. It is the
album plus a lot.
Movie. No, it's not. It's not. It's actually the album minus parts of the album. I want to say there's only 6 songs in the movie that were actually from the American Utopia album. Or maybe no, it's 6 songs from the album that didn't make it into the movie.
There was a movie.
You see? What? Man, like why? You didn't watch it.
Y'all, yeah, I told y'all I did not watch the movie. I listened to the Broadway soundtrack, which
same deal.
Yeah, okay,
yeah,
okay.
That's really
But
you just missed the ultimate imagery.
Yes.
Well, see, I was like, well, if you can't watch it on HBO Max, and then I don't know, y'all tell me some site on the computer to watch it.
Yes, and the interweb.
And I fear
the dark net.
I'm afraid of the computer.
Fair enough.
So I was like, well, I guess I'm not seeing it.
It is a 22. Well, technically 21 because the last song is just played over the end credits. I love that song, by the way. We'll get into that in a minute.
I cut it off before it. I thought I had like a bootleg version or something.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like, man, I'm only 21 tracks in. I see another one on here, but I've got 3 minutes left and it's not playing yet.
It's just another rendition of "Everybody's Coming to My House."
Gotcha.
And it's not David Byrne that sings on it. They got, I think, some of the backing musicians that he got for this movie, and I thought they sounded great.
So let me just ask y'all: the movie, is it just like a shot of the stage, and it's like a Broadway performance?
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Pretty much, and they are all
multiple camera angles.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like Hamilton or something.
Yeah.
I mean, they did like a movie version of that, I guess.
Yeah, they did. That is a good comparison. And they're all wearing these muted gray suits.
Right. Without socks and shoes.
Yes, they are barefoot up on that stage.
Yeah.
And it's just the lights is pretty basic, I would say. It's really not. I mean, you really, I don't know how much the movie really added to the music,
yeah.
but it was.
I like the concept of like there were a bunch of different musicians, and they all played their singular instrument. So, like, percussion-wise, like, you had a snare player, a toms player.
Yeah.
Someone playing, you know, like...
A cowbell.
Everything was, like, individual instrumentation.
The arrangements and the orchestration was impressive. Were there a lot of people on stage?
Yeah. What, 12?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was probably the most interesting part of it for me was, like, clearly a lot of thought was put into, like, orchestrating the whole thing. And I'm assuming that's David Byrne. I would think. Is like, you play this, you play that.
I'm sure.
I would assume.
He played guitar a little bit in this. Yeah.
Does he play the lead? Because there was a really good lead player.
What was her name?
I can't remember.
Is that St. Vincent? Because he's done stuff with her.
It was a woman, I believe, who was the lead guitarist.
But Annie Clark is St. Vincent. No.
I don't think it was.
I can look it up.
I could be wrong.
She
was a great player though, and the bass player too. What was his name? Bobby Wooten. And I was like, dude, is he related to Victor Wooten?
Yeah. Is he?
No.
Okay.
No relation, but he was
awesome.
Solid.
No,
I thought he was the standout guy.
His band was phenomenal in this song. I would say there were a few moments like the dancing.
Yeah.
It was occasionally kind of funny.
Right.
In Toe Jam, David Byrne started doing like the stereotypical like the Nixon blubbering sound, that kind of thing. Like the Boss Gungan from Phantom Menace, he just randomly started doing that. It's it's like that fast paced song, and he's just
give us that impersonation one more time, please.
Just give me a sec.
Go for it.
You need to get your jowls worked into it. I don't know enough
just let them loose.
On my face. Yeah.
Angie Swan, is this the guitar player? Let me see. I'll get a picture.
He introduced them all at one point.
That sounds actually right.
Yeah.
It was really cool. Like he was. Yes, that's her.
Cool.
That is her.
Yeah.
That is
cool player. Every time there's a guitar solo, I was like, man, I wonder who that is.
Yep.
Yes.
She shreds.
Yeah.
I thought the guitar tone was really good in this too.
Mm-hmm. That was a highlight for me.
And there are like no amps, anything visible on stage. Everybody's wireless. Like everything's cleanly tucked.
Yeah. Is there a lot of dancing?
Not real. Oh well, there had these two people
There's a
up
guy
there
and a girl
that literally like danced on like every song.
Yeah.
Were they the like main background vocals?
I think so.
Okay.
They sang a lot too.
It seemed like everybody had a vocal mic though.
Yeah.
Like,
the harmonies sounded phenomenal.
Did it seem like real like tribal,
yes,
like, African?
Yeah.
They really
just like the chant
glad
element. Yeah.
I Zimbra was one of my favorite songs on this whole thing.
That was wild. Like musically.
Yes.
I noted that one too. Yeah, very cool riff and groove.
Yep. The shakers, the cowbell. I loved everything about that song.
Yeah.
Did he talk about like Bach or some kind of classical stuff right before that song?
I don't.
I could be making that up.
I remember.
Some kind of like classical composition, and it was like the segue into this song. I'm pretty sure.
I could have sworn when he was talking about this one, he was like, when he wrote I Zimbra, he was listening to a lot of like African contemporary music, and that was the big.
That would make a lot more sense.
I mean, it's dude. This movie. I mean, it's like for those who don't know, this is like the movie is like an hour and 40 minutes long. It is a feature-length film, like Talking Heads concert. We usually say this to the end, but I gotta say, I think that you probably don't need to be a fan of this band to like the music. If you're gonna watch this movie, be prepared. Like it literally is just like the show of them doing all this,
right? And
it's extremely impressive, but if you're not super into this band and David Byrne, you might be a little bored.
Now, it's not necessarily Talking Heads though. Like it's a David Byrne solo thing with band put together, but they do play.
They do so many Talking Heads songs.
Yeah, and that was cool.
Yep.
Are y'all into the Talking Heads?
I like a few of their songs.
I'm kind of the same way. Like they've always been one of those bands where people are like, oh, they're so amazing, and I like a lot of bands that are kind of mentioned in the same category as Talking Heads, but I've just never really dug into it that deep.
Same.
I know that there's stuff though. It always kind of has a real focus on percussion, and even their '70s stuff. You can hear some of that African kind of, or tribal, just rhythms that don't originate from the Western hemisphere.
Yeah.
Drum and bass, big time.
Yes.
Like those were the standout things.
For sure.
I mean, hell, he had how many percussionists in this? Probably 6.
5 or 6.
At least.
And at any one time, there was a lot.
And we should mention that this is a request we're doing.
Yes. Yes, indeed. This was a little confusion. I assumed our requester meant the album, which I listened to and kind of liked.
Yeah.
And he wanted the full movie, and I kind of panicked because I like to do all this stuff well in advance, so I had time to refine all my notes and go back to stuff I didn't listen to. But I'm really glad I watched it. It was different.
Well, you didn't sound too happy on the text at first.
I was a little put off at the moment. I was just worried I wouldn't have time to
sure
combobulate everything I wanted to say.
Sure.
But
understandably,
I was also under the impression that the movie would be like a lot more material for this album. I didn't think I'd recognize any song on this album, but they've got obviously a ton of stuff.
Yeah, once in a lifetime.
See, I'm not even that big a fan of that song.
I'm not either.
I've never particularly. I props to them. I've done some background reading on this one even before we started doing this podcast, and I mean, nobody thought it was a good idea. Like nobody outside of the band themselves. Like David, it just
wait to do the show.
No, to do the song. Once in a Lifetime.
Oh, you mean back when they wrote it?
Yes, when they originally wrote it, and it was really it was their.
I've always liked it.
Really?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
It seems like their most radio-heavy song.
It
is.
And
that's not why I don't like it. By the way, like it's not that it's been done to death. I just think that the weird, like the I don't even know how you describe it. That like little dancing keys thing over the whole thing.
Right, very synthy.
Yeah.
Have you seen the music video?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
All kinds of wacky dancing.
That's not why either, though. Like, it's just, I think it's just kind of a...
I didn't care for the song.
Yeah, and like the sermon-esque lyrics and like the call and response format. It just not my bag, baby. It's just not...
Such a new catchphrase. Baby.
No.
I support that.
I've never particularly liked it.
I think it fits with the theme of this movie, though. Kind of just like American life and kind of its mundaneness. And
was this part of the Reasons to Be Cheerful project? Because I think that was part of the album thing. It's like the album is a noticeably like it's a lot of like almost like joke songs on there, and it's a lot of
American Utopia.
So the what project?
The Reasons to Be Cheerful project.
I don't know about this.
It's just it's all about like like uplift and I think like some levity, and that came through in the album, and that's why I was surprised to hear Once in a Lifetime in this movie.
Okay.
The movie has a noticeably more like kind of a just almost like a gritty feel to it. Especially near the end. We can get into that.
Okay.
Like it's very topical.
It's
very much they touch on some very prescient issues in American society.
Yeah, I kind of wish I had watched it. But I give the other perspective.
Yeah.
That's the other one.
Oh, what's the other one? This Must Be the Place is the other one. That
another Talking Heads song.
Yes, that it was really popular, and that I knew instantly. This one I do kind of like.
Yeah. Burning Down the House.
Yep.
And Born Under Punches. That's a Talking Heads song that I like.
take a look at these hands.
Yeah.
That's what really stood out to
Oh
me
yeah.
in the music.
Oh yeah, he is very
hands
demonstrative.
wide open.
Yeah, it is.
Very.
He is going method into that.
Yeah, he commits. He's a quirky dude.
Yeah, that comes through.
I was reading his Wikipedia. He's really into cycling, like biking.
It's
could
funny.
see that.
The end credits are him like leaving the studio and biking out of there. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
With
That's
no
awesome.
shoes.
I think he might have put shoes on by the time he did that.
Hey. So yeah, any other notes on like specific songs? I thought the second one.
I know sometimes a man is wrong.
Yeah, I really like the way he sings that at the beginning. I don't know.
That was that almost seemed like a weird like interlude between the here and don't worry about the government. Yeah,
it kind of goes into kind of like a polka type rhythm. I don't know how else to describe it. Very bouncy, and about the building and the loved ones, and I don't know. It sounds kind of depressing.
lazy. Or
I think it's called.
or I know sometimes a man is wrong.
Yeah, the second one.
Yeah, I was waiting for something weird to happen, and it took me a while to realize, like, oh, they're in the next song, because that's one where it's just like it's just Byrne singing over like the string section or the synth, isn't it?
Yeah. This is one. I mean, I'd like to sit down and really like look at the lyrics and kind of try to figure, because there's clearly something going on that's like a little deeper. I don't know.
I was gonna say, I feel like the first bit of this started off pretty dark-ish.
Yes.
Yeah,
For sure.
Especially that track.
and not to just jump around, but
No, we can.
22
song album.
Yeah,
You can
yes.
jump around.
Yeah, it's about the halfway point. So number 12, I Dance Like This. I loved the transition. That
I
was so-
thought 12 was Toe Jam.
Oh, is it?
I thought, yeah. I think
I was going off of the just the soundtrack, but it was I Dance Like This,
Oh, okay.
and in the middle of it or something, there's this crazy transition that comes out of nowhere that's just real heavy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I put heavy
I
chorus.
was like, that's cool.
yeah,
they had some robot voice. In that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
you should have seen the dancing in that
Oh
one.
yeah,
Yes.
I bet.
Oh yeah, he's like
Very notable.
he's like picking up his leg and like jangling it around.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I think it was like a robot.
Did I send
learning
y'all a
to
video
dance.
of that? I can't remember.
I don't think
He's
so.
like holding his leg up by his
Yeah.
pants, like
Yep.
just cracking up.
Oh, it was a very minimalist performance, but it worked a little bit.
What'd y'all think of Slippery People?
It's a Talking Heads song.
I love the solo in that.
Yeah. Guitar solo?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I really liked the funky beat
Yeah.
in this one.
Mhm.
I liked the
Groove.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lots of groove.
I liked this is another one where I know Byrne just starts like speaking in tongues in the bridge. We're just like and it didn't feel like out of control, by the way. Like I
Right.
brought up the Nixon
Controlled
voice he
tones.
does. Like
Uh-huh.
it's not like he's like flailing on the
Yeah,
stage. Like
yeah.
he does the noise and then he just goes right back to that like same placid expression on his
Yeah,
face.
yeah.
Like it looked like it was supposed to be there. Like no one looked surprised.
Oh, no.
Or maybe if you
Very
just,
controlled.
if you
That's-
just maybe
that's
if
a good
you
way to
play
put
in a
it.
band with Byrne, then
Right.
you know you start to expect these things.
Yeah, that would be
He
very
makes some pretty
interesting.
crazy sounds
Yeah.
himself.
Yep.
Yeah. He's an instrument.
Yeah, for real. Some of the like high pitch, like almost voice cracks and just crazy.
What do y'all think of his voice?
I think it can be good. It can get
There's
kind
a place.
of monotonous. Like
Mhm.
there's not a huge range,
Yeah.
but he's got a powerful voice. Like
The background vocals were, I feel like they helped a lot with his
I
sound.
mean they're the better like singers.
Well, together, like as one
Yes,
thing, it
yes.
sounded great.
There were
Yeah.
several like just a cappella tracks with
Yeah.
like tons of
Yeah.
choir.
Which I really liked when he was backed up like that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like I couldn't imagine it without him, but at the same time, he needed it.
Yeah. Right at the end, there are 2 songs that are just like all a cappella voices. And
Road to Nowhere.
Yeah.
Maybe. Is that track 18, 19?
It's near the end.
Somewhere in there.
Yes. Yeah. Those. They had that. The vocals at the start of that one had that weird, like, ghosty quality to a lot of them, and that actually came through on the album they did. Like a lot of eerie vocal work
Right.
going on there.
I read that "Hell You Tom Bout" was a cover.
Yeah, by the Janelle Monáe, I believe. Yeah.
Yep.
By who?
Janelle Monáe.
Okay.
Pop star.
Okay. She wrote that song.
Yes.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah, that one.
Tom Bout.
Yeah. It reminds me of like Boomhauer or something.
Hey, you Tom Bout.
Is that their ode to Boomhauer?
No, I don't think it was.
No.
I could
That's
see
his
Boomhauer
favorite
being
song.
a Talking Heads fan, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Dang old man, I'm talking about it, man.
I guess he strikes me as more of a just
Sticks.
kind of. I don't know. I was gonna say more just like
Red Dirt Country.
Well,
Dude, just golden earring,
or just
radar
like-
love on loop.
just
Every
like
time he gets in the car.
Jams to Mountain all the time.
outlaw country. Just in his truck, he has like one AM station. It's just all country.
Happy birthday to Willie Nelson, by the way. Man's a living legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Shout out to Willie.
Yeah,
Right.
We know you're
always.
listening.
Yep.
No, Road to Nowhere was surprisingly peppy, given the pretty
Jam.
Yeah,
Was it Jam?
Yeah.
This is. I feel like a lot of these songs must have been written when they were just jamming around.
Sure.
Because it's so. They had to have just come up with the music beforehand, and then they're like, okay, now we're gonna think of the lyrics that'll work with this.
I could see
'Cause-
that. I could see Byrne just having like notebooks of lyrics. And,
Yeah.
Let's put this here.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you mentioned it kind of has a peppy like thing to it. Like,
Oh yeah.
I feel like that's kind of a common theme with them. Like, it doesn't sound dark often, but like a lot of times the lyrics are kind of bleak
Yeah.
and like deep.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
But the music's real funk.
Right.
Fun to move to.
Yeah.
Sure.
John like Blind.
Blind.
Strong open, I thought. Guitars,
Funky.
the jazzy funk feel for sure. This was one of Byrne actually kind of like it did kind of sound like he had the voice crack going. Like he was shrieking a little bit on this one, and this is about a little over halfway through the album. I liked the song. This one didn't stand out a whole lot to me, but I could see myself listening to this song again.
Blind?
Yeah, even outside of the album.
Yeah.
That's not counting the hit songs that are huge. I mean, I could see I don't think I'll watch this movie again, but I could see myself listening to a lot of these songs.
Yeah.
No.
I'd like to get into the Talking Heads.
Yeah.
Like, just kind of go back to the beginning.
I always hear him brought up as like big inspirations for a lot of people.
Yeah. I think you were telling me, is it Trent Reznor who you really loves?
Yep.
I can see that.
Yeah.
It was an odd album too, I think, that he like cites as a big influence.
Was it, it's got the red faces on the cover.
I think so.
Drawing a blank on it, but I may have put it on our large list of albums.
Him and Depeche.
Yes.
Depeche Mode.
Oh, that was another influence. Yeah.
Well, he cites an album like way before, what is it, Violator? That's the big one of theirs.
Yeah.
It's like, I think he mentioned one like 3 albums prior to that or something.
Retro Depeche Mode.
Retro.
Damn it, I'm mad I can't think of that Talking Heads album. Let's see, Talking Heads best albums. It'll be the first one. Remain in Light.
Yes, that sounds right.
Yeah, and
I
that one.
heard of that one.
That one has Born Under Punches, which was played.
Yep.
The Great Curve, which was also on this. That was the last song, at least
The
on
credit
the
song,
album version. It's kind of a ska type vibe to it with some horns and a cool guitar solo.
The Great Curve?
Wasn't that the credit song?
I thought that was the Everybody's Coming to My House, the different rendition of that. Isn't that what they play?
No, Everybody's Coming to My House is in the middle.
No, but then they sing it again during the part where he's cycling through New York and the credits are rolling. I mean, yeah, the last one I've got. The last one
I
in
was
the
dozing
show.
off. I don't know.
The last one in the show in the movie I saw was Road to Nowhere.
Okay.
The Great Curve was the last song on the list, though.
On the album that I listened to, it was the last one. Maybe in the movie it doesn't play it exactly like the soundtrack. I don't know.
Maybe.
That bootleg.
You got a pirated version of this?
Somebody holding a camera in the theater.
On Broadway.
Yep. On Broadway.
It's difficult to do. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's been done.
It's probably.
Yeah, I liked how with Everybody's Coming to My House, he was talking about the two different interpretations. How he was like, I'm always ready for everybody to leave. It's like a get out. Whereas the song was originally written with the intention of like inclusion. It's like I'm the complete opposite.
Yeah.
So this song means something entirely opposite to me. It's like, okay.
Well, those things can change over time.
Fell asleep during Glass, Concrete, and Stone.
That was a big meh song for me.
Let's
like
see.
Dozed off for 5 minutes and then came back and toe jam.
You know, it's. I guess maybe with the title, maybe there's some tongue-in-cheek going on there.
Yeah.
It's. You know, there's some fun elements to it. You had a little shakers going on as part of the percussion, but
Couldn't tell you.
I oddly kind of liked that song. I thought it was kind of simple, but I actually liked it, and there were some cool vocal parts on the outro.
I'm gonna have to check it out again.
Yeah,
you were asleep.
Yeah, I was so tired.
Were you on your second vaccination? Or you got that today, didn't you?
I got that today.
Yeah. How are you holding up?
2 hours ago, so we'll see.
You holding up? Okay.
Feel great.
Yeah.
Nothing so far.
We'll keep an eye on them.
Yeah, as the episodes degrade throughout the day, we'll see.
I got my first vaccine a few days ago, which the listeners will be pleased about.
Congrats!
If they, because I feel like it was the Radiohead episode. I was saying some stuff about the vaccination.
Oh yeah, vaccine truth,
which was clearly a joke.
Sure. Yeah.
If you know me.
Sure.
I was dead serious about my 5G reception.
Oh, that's better than ever, man.
Peaking.
Been just doing nothing but buying Microsoft stock. I mean, I'm doing great.
Oh my goodness.
This is a fun listen.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
it's not the
Very different.
Not
very different.
It's not the. God, it's just because it's so tied up in the visual experience, which is entertaining in parts, but on the whole, I think the movie might actually be a little boring. You know, like
it's a little lengthy.
Yeah, and it's
definitely.
It's got their just they. I mean, literally, like the floor matches their suits. I mean, it's like they look very pale up there. That
very
gray.
little visual stimulation from the
Yeah,
lights.
I'm.
Is that kind of the Utopia thing? Like everybody's dressed the same and.
Right.
Is it?
I'm guessing. Like it's you know the Utopia is supposed to be like perfect, but it ends up being like everybody's kind of I don't know boring and the same.
Okay.
I'm guessing that's what he means.
That's probably it.
But
that sounds about right.
I would have to see it. Be interested to talk to our fan that requested this and then see what he thinks.
Right.
So, haven't seen him in a while. But.
He was very insistent that we watch the movie to get the full experience.
See, I guess I missed that. But yeah.
Yeah, my apologies for relaying that.
I feel like if I had just listened to the soundtrack though, like y'all did, I think I would have liked it just as much. I mean, I would have missed out on Byrne's.
I know.
Just moments of convulsion and his epic dancing, but you know, it's.
He talked during the concert.
Oh
yes.
yes.
Right? Yeah.
Oh yes.
Did that not make it into?
No.
Oh, okay.
That had to add about 10 or 12
It did.
minutes.
Yeah.
Because it was an hour 30 for like the actual album,
Okay, yes.
and this was 105 minutes.
Yep.
So.
That's about right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and that can be a little like aggravating when it's like, okay, they're gonna talk during this.
I didn't mind the talking though.
Yeah.
No, I didn't
honestly.
either.
Yeah.
It wasn't like long-winded or anything like that.
I don't think so either.
I mean, hey, to only add 10-15 minutes over 22 tracks.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not like Springsteen.
Yeah.
Does he just go on?
Yeah, he did like a Broadway show. I don't know. I didn't see it or listen to it, but I just imagine that a lot of stories about, being in Jersey and
God.
Being born in the USA.
Oh yes.
yeah.
Let's hope that doesn't get requested.
I would
It's been
do
barred
I would
from
do
the
some
list.
Springsteen albums, but hopefully not that one.
Just not the movie.
I would do Born to Run, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys?
I mean, he's fine.
Yeah.
His music is fine. It's just that
But
it just sounds like a beating to do another show where they're starting and stopping like that.
well, I don't know if there's an actual album out there of that, but I just meant like the Born to Run
Okay.
classic album. Maybe. Anyway, back to old DB.
Yeah, no, it was just kind of jarring. I've never watched anything like this before.
Mhm.
This was not. I'd
Definitely
rather
unique.
go to a concert than watch a video of it. Like I'm not into. I didn't go crazy when Disney put on like all the filmed Broadway shows on the streaming platform.
Oh, yeah?
Like because I've having gone to see Wicked live in person at a theater in England.
Oh my
It
gosh.
is so great, and it would have been just so much more bland to be
Sets
like
the bar
sitting
pretty
in
high.
couch. No, it's
peak.
It's incredible.
I bet that was awesome.
I would rather do something like that. Just go the full nine,
Right.
and get into the whole immersive experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm glad I watched this. I would certainly like recommend the songs and like the soundtrack. But yeah, it's this was different.
Yeah.
And after I kind of like it was over and I like kind of let it stew for a minute, and when I looked back over my notes the next day, I was like, well, I actually kind of enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So I
Can definitely appreciate it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So full gratitude to our requester. For
How would you rate it?
The music.
Mm-hmm.
I would say 7.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Right about.
Okay. Let me give it a 7.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to give it like a 6.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I feel like the majority of the tracks didn't do a ton for me.
Right.
But I like some of the Talking Heads tracks especially. But it didn't just like overwhelm me.
Right.
With like I don't know. There weren't any that I was like, oh man, I need to like listen to this again. But I'd be curious to see the movie. And I'd recommend it if you're. You don't recommend that? Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
if you didn't, if the music didn't really grab you,
Yeah.
I'm just not sure how much the movie's.
Yeah, you're probably right. And I probably
Very
won't.
true.
I probably won't watch it.
I can probably, if you want to see the Byrne going crazy,
Yeah.
I've found like a bunch of clips on YouTube
Right.
of the
You can
individual
watch it
songs, so I
sectioned
can
out.
just tell you which songs where he does that stuff.
I'd like to see that.
Okay.
But maybe
I dance like this. You need to see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
okay.
definitely that
You
one.
need to see that.
Definitely that.
So maybe recommend this to if you're really into David Byrne,
Yes.
Talking Heads.
Yes.
If you're really into like performance art, maybe like if the idea of a I don't know, Broadway musical that's like very I mean it's a concert. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's really not that theatrical.
Right.
We're talking
right.
about like the dancing and
Yeah,
the
but there's
blubbering.
only 2 people. I mean, they move around on stage. Like, there's choreography.
So
but
it's a concert with like accompanying like dancing slash
Sort of. 'Cause
Yeah.
There's
I know
only
it.
2 of them,
Okay.
and they're singing too. Like they're not just up there to,
Right.
to
Yeah.
dance.
But it's not a play or a musical really.
no, there's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
narrative.
There's just some choreography maybe.
yeah.
Like, and there's a theme.
because they're moving around. Like,
There's a
Yeah.
theme with the costumes and the set.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Man, that's about all I got. I enjoyed I Should Watch TV. I was just gonna name the other song that I liked. I don't particularly remember.
That's a funny song.
One thing that I noted on that too is there's like real heavy distortion.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, whoa, okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, that was fun.
Heavy groove.
Yeah.
Cool. Stefan?
I'm
Sign us out, man.
I'm tapped out. If you're still with us, thank you so much. We are 3 different ones. Please like, subscribe, share this episode on your social media platforms. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.